Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has finally done it. He has said the thing that is going to end his candidacy for president in 2024. He has said the thing that definitively proves that he hates the Constitution and he will cheat and he will do anything to win back the presidency. And it's all due to his massive ego and his puppy-killing levels of insane evil. What did he say? Well, before we get to that, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave your comments down there. I read all the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you hated it. That's fine with me too. And go join us on Rumble. The link is in the description. We need 100 followers on Rumble so that we can do our shows live there and move some of this over from YouTube so we can speak on things like this with just a little more candor. All right, let's get into what Donald Trump said. So on his Truth Social website, his red replacement for Twitter, if you will, Donald Trump made the following post. So, with the revelation of massive, widespread fraud and deception and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democrat Party, and again, this is Trump speaking, not me, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare a rightful winner, or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Well, before I get into anything else, I just want to say, YouTube, I personally fervently believe that the 2020 elections were the most free and fair elections in history, where Donald Trump was defeated by zombie dictator Joseph R. Biden, who received 80 million votes fairly, with no fraud, no evidence of fraud, and no fortifying of elections. It was simply free and fair, and there is nothing more to be said about it. Now that we've got that out of the way, here's what's going on in the wake of this, what do they call it on Truth Social? This truth? He spoke his truth? I don't know. I've never been on Truth Social. But ever since this post, the news media said Trump says that we should abolish the Constitution because he didn't win in 2020. So let's read this post carefully. I will point out, Trump has pretty terrible grammar in this post, so it's kind of like trying to interpret the babblings of a lunatic, but we shall read. So he says, so with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, Democrat Party, I'm assuming he's talking about the Twitter thing where Elon aired out all the Twitter stuff, and I've seen people like Tim Pool saying this is clear evidence that Twitter colluded with the DNC to make changes to the 2020 election. I've seen people say that. Now, I'm not saying that because I have received a strike for even putting a piece of a video that seemed to insinuate that on my channel. But that is what Tim Pool has said. Not me. Not me. Anyways, he says, do you throw out the presidential election results of 2020 and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? So assume he's just saying, do you just declare me the winner, or do we redo it? Which would be Trump Biden again. Neither of those things is going to happen, obviously. It's too far past. Everybody's moved on. You're going to have half of the country. Well, he doesn't even have half of the country anymore, but the other half of the country is definitely not going to be having any of this. But he says a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. So, the way that I read this is he is saying unless you declare a rightful winner or have a new election, then this fraud, his perceived alleged fraud, of course, what I mean, this fraud that he perceives creates such a disparity between the way things are meant to be and the way that things are that you may as well just throw out the rules, the regulations, the articles, all the Constitution, and everything. And then he says our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. So what this sounds like to me is him saying, if we're going to allow that to happen, we might as well just throw everything out. Now, that's the way I read it. And I'm not sitting here trying to defend or attack Donald Trump. I'm interpreting this in a way that makes sense to me. So when I read this, I think, oh, this is Trump saying Trump things that he's said a million times before, and that Trump supporters have said a million times before. Just, if we're going to allow what happened in 2020 to happen again, we might as well just throw the whole system out. That's it. That's what he's saying. And I'm guessing that because he's running for president again in 2024, which he has now confirmed, a couple weeks ago, it seems like there's more of a stake in this for Trump since he's going to be running again. Now, I'm going to give you just my flatline analysis of all of this. So look, Trump, you shouldn't be talking about this right now. And that's not me making a statement on whether it's right or wrong. That's not me making a statement on what I think of the integrity of the election system. That is me saying your base agrees with you. Okay. The independents and the left-leaners and the left wing do not care what you have to say about this. And the more you talk about it, the crazier the media is going to make you look. Now, I'm no campaign advisor. I don't know what Trump's got up his sleeve. I know people are fond of saying Trump plays 4D chess and everything, but in my estimation, looking at this, Trump has got to stop talking about 2020 if he wants to win 2024. From a purely pragmatic standpoint, he has got to move on. But it seems as though his ego isn't really letting him. Now, whether you like or hate Trump, you have to admit the guy is driven by ego. Now, maybe he has the best intentions. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He wholeheartedly loves America and has the best of intentions. Whatever. This is still a bad move. He needs to stop. He needs to stop. Because when you have a news cycle that's running 24 hours a day, Trump's crazy, Trump's crazy, Trump's crazy. What has it been today? It's been Trump wants to abolish the Constitution. Trump wants to abolish the Constitution. That's not going to go over very well with people who just read headlines. I will point out, if you go look at like the YouTube channels of news companies, most of them are not playing what Trump actually said, which was my first clue that, hey, I need to go read this myself, because I don't think that doesn't really sound like something that would resonate with Trump or his base. And obviously he's smart enough to realize that this is going to alienate his base if that's actually what he said. It's not actually what he said, but it's going to be reported that way into the faces of all of the people who are either ambivalent or don't like him. So he's got to stop with this. Now, and here's the reason that I said join on Rumble. If you're still watching now after my ramblings, at the start of the video I said join on Rumble. This is about as far as my commentary can go on here, because what I'm about to say is very risky, even though I'm going to qualify it by saying I believe that the 2020 election was fully free and fair and no fraud was committed. But now, if people believe that there was fraud, that may warrant a looking at of the electoral system to make sure that everything is going smoothly. Just like with Arizona, in 2020, they decertified their presidential election results in March of this year, if you weren't aware. But those election results took forever to be figured out. And then what happened in the midterms? Have they even figured it out now? I don't know. They were talking about recounts last I saw, and then I haven't really seen any more news come out about it. I don't know if Arizona has finished their counts yet. There are so many flaws in the system. Maybe the system should be looked at. Can I say that? I'm not saying that anything bad happened in 2020, because I firmly believe it didn't. But maybe some things could be looked at. How about that? Maybe some things could be looked at. You can follow me on Twitter at SeattleIJ. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Go down in the description, find the link to Rumble, and join us on Rumble so that we can get 100 people and we can stream straight to there and have the conversations that are not allowed on YouTube. I'm just going to say two random words here, election and vaccine. Those are totally random. There's no reason for saying those words. Anyways, thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.